What are the requirements of an auditor just in general? What does an auditor need to do? We have requirements in specific engagements, we have requirements in certain circumstances, but overall, what are some requirements to be an auditor? The auditor must maintain professional skepticism and exercise professional judgment throughout the audit. Professional skepticism, meaning we are going to question everything the client says. We're not going to be rude. We're not going to assume that they're committing fraud, but we are going to be professional and skeptical. Again, validating everything they say like a good private investigator. We want to exercise professional judgment as well. There's a lot of subjectivity. While we have talked about following rules, following standards on how to do something, there's a lot of instances where we need to take our experience, our judgment in maybe checking with someone else, and apply that to the audit to make sure we're doing our best job. Of course, and without any doubt, the auditor must comply with ethical requirements. That should be a given, and those are specifically outlined in our lessons on the AICPA's ethics, on the public company ethics, and governmental ethics. The auditor must plan the audit work and properly supervise any others who work on the audit. If you are going to take some level of responsibility through reasonable assurance, you need to plan it. You need to do a good enough job, do your due diligence. You need to be competent. You can't slack off. You need to watch out for anyone who's working on your audit. In general, when we're talking about the auditor, for the purposes of the exam, you're the auditor, you're the CPA, and you could have others working for you. You could have new hired staff accountants, and they may not be CPAs. You might have just other consultants working for you. So you need to supervise the work of anyone else who's assisting you. You need to have competence and capability to perform an audit. Now, in here, this competence ties into this situation. You need to be competent, meaning you need to be able to do the audit. Now, that's a very broad statement, and I mean it that way, because you do not need to have technical knowledge or experience in the particular industry that you're doing the audit for. You as the auditor, you can obtain the knowledge by hiring a specialist or just working toward it, training for it. Experience is not required. Capability. Are you physically capable? Do you have the time to do it? If you don't have the time to do it, if you're going to cut corners, that's not particularly appropriate. The auditor must work to express an opinion on the financial statements, which that's the whole point. That's what you're being hired to do. If you're not going to express opinion, time to get out of there, withdraw from the engagement, disclaim an opinion. And you are going to do this using sufficient appropriate evidence to obtain reasonable assurance. You can't just say, oh yeah, I have reasonable assurance. No, you need to have evidence. You need to have support showing why you have reasonable assurance. An auditor commonly is going to make recommendations to a client on how to improve the internal control environment. That can happen. Now, you are independent. You're not doing work on behalf of the client and doing their books. But if you see a way that they're doing their books and you think they could do it differently and you believe there's a more efficient, better way for less possibility of fraud or error, sure, yeah, it's your responsibility. If you see something, say something. Make a recommendation on how to improve the control environment. They can take action. You're not consulting them. You're not telling them they have to do something. You're simply providing them with suggestions. And in a perfect world, these suggestions are those which are there for their benefit to help with internal controls and the financial statement process.
Hey there. Are you ready to not only pass your CPA exams, but truly understand and enjoy the material while studying? I know it seems impossible, right? Especially to enjoy the material. We'll do it together. Tap into the power of CPA.examprep.ai, where we've got personalized quizzes, multiple choice questions, memorization guides, flashcards, simulations, all tailored to your learning. Our adaptive study planning puts you on the fastest path to success and lifts you back up if you fall behind. Avoid wasting your precious time and money attempting an exam with a low chance of passing, because who wants that? We want to get you through this process as quick as possible. Our exam readiness prediction lets you walk in with confidence, knowing that you're prepared for success on exam day. Thankfully, there's no payment method needed to get started, so why don't you come join us? Visit cpa.examprep.ai and let's achieve your exam success together.